Hello, everybody, and welcome to DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process by coming up with monsters, magic items, and entire game systems live. Right now, we are working on a sort of adventuring academy. We've called it Afterschool Special. I feel it's important to state, because we have wandered this way a few times, this is not magic school.
No.
This is like, the best way I can actually interpret it is this is a military academy in a typical fantasy world.
Yeah.
I think is the best way to think about it. Not to say that you're part of a military industrial complex, but it's for the fighter who just swings a sword, and it's for the wizard who throws spells, and it's for the bard who channels magic, and it's for the rogue who sneaks around. It is very much a institution of learning that is directed towards these kind of action-oriented skill sets, which is what's making me, at least mentally, go with military academy, because it's directional.
My pitch is this is sort of an Xavier school for gifted children, but it's like whatever fantasy name we come up with, school for adventuresome children, adventuresome youths.
Yeah,
That's sort of
I
what
mean,
we're cooking with.
I hate an adventuring guild in a D&D game. I hate an adventuring guild, but there is a kind of story that needs an environment like this to take place in, and I don't mind those stories as long as they are well and truly separate. I have put a magic. I'm curious. Wait a minute. Let's do some BAM. We don't need to jump right in.
No, we're good.
Either in your own world or in pop culture or both. What are some of your favorite institutions, academies, like places you go to learn to hunt monsters, do magic, and kill stuff? What are some of your favorites?
Number one, My Hero Academia. What is it called? The high school. It's
UA.
UA.
Okay,
Huge.
that's your from fiction. That's your go-to.
Yeah, I love that one.
Mine is Hunter x Hunter. I can't really call it a school, but it's like
the academy side of it's a
the
little
Hunter
light, but I get what you're going for.
Hunter Association.
It's an association. Ethan?
Trying to think. It's tough to think.
It is.
Hard on the
Sky High, another banger.
Sky High, another banger. My personal, I don't know. I said one in a game or one from out of the game. Can I tell you one? I've got one that I really like from a series I haven't watched. What's the series with the elf lady who kills demons?
Sorry.
Freerun?
Freerun? Beyond Journey's
I've
End?
never seen
Okay.
it, but I've seen clips. And I find the clips very interesting. I'm just an adult man who does not have time to watch TV. And
Not me. I love Freerun. I watch the shit out of it.
I think that one seems very interesting. I like a lot of the concepts I've heard. I like the sort of directionality to it. I like the this and then this and then this. There's a sense of like progression across time that I often enjoy. I'll say, now I'm curious if you guys have even done one. I've run like 2 or 3 like I guess magical academies across games that I've run before. My favorite was in a game that Spencer was in that didn't really go anywhere. It was like an organization in Theros that made these people who would travel in pairs, and it was their job to go investigate. They were basically like fucking ghost hunters, and they were the Mechai and the Mentai, and they were like trained in the same place, and one of them learns magic and the other one learns to counter magic, and that's just what they do. And so they like go to school together. They are sorted into pairs when they arrive, and they must work, and they then work together for the rest of their lives as members of that organization. And it was very fun to think like, there's two kinds of problems: magical problems and non-magical problems. And the thought that it's like, no, you've got it backwards. The magic person is there to solve non-magical problems. The magic person says, oh, there's bandits. I cast testicular torsion! Bandits done. If you have a magic problem, it's the anti-magic guy's job. There's an evil wizard, and a paladin just shows up and casts anti-magic cone, and just goes, oh, and just shuts off their ability to do magic and then kills them. I thought that was really fun. Because it's fun to think about, like, for me, this is a DM writing show. I love to think, like, what's the fucking curriculum? Like, what are they? What are the big concerns in that world? Like, what are they, like, really directing their focus on? What are the daily concerns? Are undead a daily concern? It feels like clerics would handle that most of the time. So what does a wizard go solve? And inevitably, the answer for me is, like, civic problems. Is like, we need somebody to move 3 tons of stone in a day. And it's like, level 4 wizard can get that done easy. Like, unfortunately, I think wizards 99% of the time would not attack, fight, or kill anything. It would be like, can you redirect a river? And they'd be like, shouldn't you ask a druid? And the guy's like, I have shape water. Give me 10 minutes. Like, I have shape earth. And he just, like, slowly walks, moving a new channel for the river down the way.
Shouldn't you ask a druid? Fuck no. Their permitting system's insane. We don't ask them to do anything natural.
But yeah,
the druids are probably the animal control people. There's coyotes in the area. Yeah, call your druid up.
Druid, they would also be good for, like, search and rescue. They'd be great at stuff like that. They could sniff things out. They could fly. They can scout. Like, all that is what they'd be ripping. Wizards, not so much. Wizards have scry, that's it. They're not good at search and rescue.
I will say I've never been particularly impressed by a magical academy that I've seen. Like, there are ones that I like more, and there are ones that I like less. Like, there are some that are aesthetically neat but make no fucking sense. Like Harry Potter, where it's like, aesthetically, you've nailed this. Like, this is aesthetically great. God, there's just no rules. Like, there's just none of this makes any fucking
one
sense.
Rule. Don't go into the Forbidden Forest. Guess what they do day one? They go into the Forbidden Forest.
They send
they
students
were ordered
there.
to go.
Yeah. The entire world follows the rules of this one school in Scotland or wherever the fuck. Yeah, no, I don't. I like... A lot of the time I tend to find that they pick another one for those. I'm going to say it. People, you can get mad. Get in the comments. Name of the Wind. Name of the Wind. Aesthetically cool, that magical school. That motherfucker, that's the dumbest institution. That institution doesn't make a fucking lick of sense at any level. At any level, they don't make any sense. I don't understand how anything gets done there. It makes no sense. It relies on, it makes this presupposition that, like, there's coin-based commerce is the center of this medieval world, and I'm like, that's not how fucking anything works. Like, that has never been even slightly true. That would make no sense.
The entire story of Name of the Wind is just a vehicle to make the main character seem cool. Everything around that is just to make him look cool. Michael, you never read these books? They are very good. There's a lot of plot contrivance. I enjoy the books. It's very plot contrived.
My official, I'll be on the record for this. My official review is, if you want to read Name of the Wind and The Wise Men's Fear, read them once. Straight through. Don't reread them. Under a magnifying glass, the second book especially is so horrendously cringe that you're like, oh god. You get the prose is beautiful, and so if you kind of just let yourself get carried away by it, you're like, oh yeah, and like following it along, and you're like, aha, a joke even, and you get through to the end, and you're like, that was fun, and then don't crack that spine again. I read it a second time, and the secondhand embarrassment I felt, I did not finish my second read through. Like, I was like, nope, close. I couldn't do it.
It is a big, like, hero fantasy. And I get what Patrick Rothfuss was trying to do, which was sort of like a modern myth, Odysseus style. You know, oh, he went here and he did these cool things. and even a god was there, and it was important, and all this cool shit happened. It is cringe.
It's so cringe.
It is cringe.
It's
you need
deeply
to be
cringe.
prepared for that if you read it. And is it one of the top 5 like modern fantasies? Yeah. That doesn't save it from the fact that it is cringe.
Yeah, deeply. And I'm a pretty pro cringe guy. And even I was like, on a second pass, you're like, this is some like, and he's the strongest warrior in all of the 7 seas, and he's and his dick is huge. You're like,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
And you're like, all right, Pat, were you going through? I know you wrote this in college. Were you going through a breakup or something when you got to the second book? Because like
you
this
needed
is
this.
and there's only one competent woman around, and she's obsessed with him. And you're like, all right, Pat, let's move on.
Classic.
You're like, let's jump to the next.
And there's
thing.
there's another woman, and she doesn't like him, or does she?
Or does
Like
she?
it's straight up every
it's crazy.
every time.
It's you know what it has? It is huge Sword Art Online energy. It
Yes.
has huge Sword Art Online energy.
It's
where it's like
fantasy book Sword Art Online.
where it's like if you turn your brain off, hell yeah, and then you think for 9 seconds and you go, was that his cousin? And it's over. And it's over. All right, jumping back in. Okay, so let's go over what we know about the game so far in depth. I'm going to give a full download, and we're only going to talk about new stuff for 4 minutes. Now, all right, so this is about a sort of academy for learning to survive magical interactions and to be an adventurer. We wanted there to be a pretty big relationship and cliques system. Like, you know, you try to basically the first half of the game is going to school, and it's all about managing relationships and building a character at the same time. At character creation, you don't know a lot about who this person is. We said we were going to kind of sort them, that like the goal is for you to random roll your character like you would in like Morkborg, where it's like randomly determine what you're there to go to school for and then begin to pursue that. Because I think that's really fun, with obviously the option to be like, or you can pick. The thing is, I think if you pick, you're always going to pick what's optimal. You're always going to be like, well, if I look at this logically, right? Like this is the major I should take and this is the minor I should take. And if I take both of those, I'll have a good diverse system. And it's like, yeah, but maybe disengage
But
from
as
that.
a 13-year-old, you're not optimized.
You know, think about everybody that's ever gone to college. You
Yeah.
didn't know what you're doing. You just were like, history. For no reason. Like, you just were like, I kind of like history. You didn't optimize for the rest of your life's career path.
I'm missing
Basket
one
weaving, let's go.
Exactly.
sheet, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just gonna move on. I'm missing one note sheet, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, so that's what we've got, and we know the like basic skills, right? We have evoke, support, covert, primal, martial, and aura. And those are also your majors and minors. So for example, you would basically just roll 2d6. So, oh no, Spencer's gone.
Yeah. He's thought of that and booked it out for a
Tragic.
second. It's okay.
I can't find my normal dice. All right, I'll use weird dice.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got very small dice. What are we going with here? I need something easy to read. These look kind of magical.
There we go.
Yay. So, in theory, I think, well, I feel like we should just, now I see, I thought if I vamped for a little longer.
Keep going.
All right. So, we've got 6 stats. So I imagine that you will roll 2d6 at character creation to get your major and your minor. My question then would be, what if you roll the same thing twice? Are you, because I'm tempted to say, roll again. But there's another little voice in my head that's saying, maybe you can be like solo track. Maybe if you roll evoke, it's like, hey, guess what? In Dungeons and Dragons parlance, you are a wizard. Like, oh, am I like a, what kind of wizard? wizard.
wizard
Suns and
kind.
moons, like you are Walfred Izzard Ard. You are the whiz of all Ards. And if you roll, Marshall, it's like, yup, a fighter. With nothing else in there. You know what I mean? You are a fighter.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah, where it's like you can end up sort of solo tracks. Especially we're discussing the merits of there being solo tracks. So if you roll a d6 to determine your stuff, and you roll the same number twice, if you get evoke, brother, you are
if you're hyper focused.
a seasoned voice acting professional. Everybody.
The thing is, when I'm voice acting, I just go oop and I reread the line, and nobody knows.
Yeah,
nobody's the wiser.
So like, if you get evoke, because to me, evoke is a wizard.
Yeah, you just go straight.
And Michael and we were saying like Marshall's fighter, covert rogue, like you know what I mean. It's to borrow D&D parlance to make it clear to understand. And then you start thinking about it when it starts wandering in different directions. But like, which is funny. I think druids in D&D are primal support. I don't think there's a class in Dungeons and Dragons that is primal. That is like, I channel the beast, like I connect to that which is nature. I am one with it. The closest I can get to is like MCDM's Beast Heart, where it's like, I have a big lion. He's my best friend. Like a ranger? No. Oh. Like you're just, this is my boy. And it's like, okay, there we go. He does one thing and it's communing with this one big beast.
Be with dog.
Yeah.
Can I shit on something really quick?
Yeah.
Because you said, not to make it easy, we're relating to D&D. We do our best to diversify. D&D really covered a lot of bases when it comes to like skills and, abilities.
Fantasy.
The new Dungeon Crawler Carl RPG that's made like $8 million on BackerKit. I got a copy of the character sheet. The abilities are just the D&D abilities. It's just Dex, Strength, Constitution, Intelligence, and it's just D&D. It's just D&D. So anyway, I needed to shit on that a little bit.
I think I'm okay with that though, just because if you're looking at it from the book's perspective, it's just a rip off of what we already have.
For me, it's not, because the experience I want when I am playing Dungeons and Dragons is to play a hero's journey, like plowshares to swords journey, to start as like a level 1 jabroni, building skill and talent and growing stronger and eventually becoming a hero. The Dungeon Crawler Carl fantasy is not that. The Dungeon Crawler Carl fantasy is you are a true outsider navigating the gaps between the system to like find the path. The entire plot is, how can Carl outmaneuver the system to succeed? And so if anything, I think that the character sheet should be a send up of the D&D sheet. It should be like the opposite. It should like, there shouldn't be, Constitution shouldn't be there, because it seems like people die when they get cut by a sword and then they die. In Dungeon Crawler Carl, like it's not the D&D experience of like, and he glanced out of the way of 1,000 blades, the elven warlock who had seen 1,000,000 fights and battles, right? That's the D&D thing. The Dungeon Crawler Carl thing is, Gertrude Ignacio, 39 years old, was slain by a flame beast, and you're like, that's so sad.
Oh,
I
no.
loved Ignacio.
I think it should have been Morkborg coded, where you jump around to different crawlers. Also, just name strength something else. You can just do the same thing and name it something else, and then it's not D&D again. You could just name it anything.
I would argue there should be, if I was to make this stat block, there would be like a little star chart in the corner that was strength, dex, con, perfect copy. And then the real stats would be down the other side, and it would be like Tinker crowd appeal, outmaneuver. Like, it would be different things. And the whole system would be, like, playing off of these two skill sets. You would have... I would split the sheet down the middle. And I would have the lit RPG side down one, and I would have the real guy stuff down the other. And it would be like, how can you synchronize? Because that's what they're doing the whole time, is they're finding these patches where they can, like, lean into one category where it's like, I can do this stuff, and also I do this National Guard thing. And those two skills work together to make it happen. I think that's way more the fantasy of Dungeon Crawler, Carl. I have a similar beef with a Hellboy game that came out that turned out to just be a 5e reskin, and I was like, boo.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Okay. So, getting back to what we were talking about a little while ago, you know, it's a kind of a podcast. Listen in, tune in. I hope you're having a good time. We're chatting here. We have Evoke, Support, Aura, Martial, Covert, and Primal, which cover things that I think are in many ways very different. Nyahaha, 90 poo-poo, we had that nailed. When you get into the action, the adventure portion of things, we have decided that there is a difficulty rating system. So rather than going with a, you know, like pass-fail or mixed results, we've decided to go with a, like, DC system, where a trivial check is DC 3. It is comically simple. If you roll a D6 with no bonuses, you will hit it most of the time. Easy is DC 6. So, like, you need a little bit of luck if you are a literal child, if you are still rolling a D6 on any skill, because the way it works is you start at a D6 plus nothing, and then you say, I want to make that better, and it becomes a D6 plus 1, then plus 2, then plus 3, and then once you get to D6 plus 3, you shift down to a D10. And that means on average, right, you're going to succeed. You have a 5.5 on your average dice result, the DC is 6. That means most of the time you're going to hit it. And then that D6 goes up to plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, and then you slot back to D20. So easy is D6. If you are a literal child, you will have some difficulty. Medium is 9. It's DC 9. So that means you would need to have a D10 plus 4 to succeed most of the time. I'm revisiting this because I have some little questions for past us. So that means if you have a D10 plus 4, that means on average, you are succeeding on a medium difficulty thing. Hard is D12, DC 12, so that means you need some pretty heavy movement. Daunting is DC 15, impossible is DC 18. And we made very clear that impossible means, like, actually impossible. Impossible is like Cooper in Interstellar docking on that spinning ship. Like, that's DC 18. It's like, it's not, it's necessary. Like, you know, you need to say a cool line and then roll incredible for that to go off. Like, that's not going to be very easy for you. So, I'm cool with these staying the way they are. If we delve into the notes here a little bit, because the only way that I can accept that is if 90% of everything everyone does all day is trivial or easy.
Yeah.
And medium, and that's why I like that we said trivial, easy, medium, not average. I love that we didn't say the word average, because medium is, when was the last time, you sitting at home, when was the last time you did something of medium difficulty? Like, that took real focus and attention, that you had to stop everything else and go, okay, if I was to rank all of the difficulties this could be, this one would be about middling. Like, that's not cooking an omelet. That's like making a beef Wellington at home, where it's like, ooh, you got some steps to go through, brother. Like, you're going to have to hit them all and do them all. It's not impossible. It's not daunting. It's not even hard. It's not like you need to... What's an example of something really hard? Like, I don't know. I think hard for me is like a 3-tiered, like, caramel sugar art wedding cake. Is like, fuck. Okay. I hope you have like 10 hours set aside to do that.
I'm an outlier. I cannot speak.
I think here's what I think.
My
I'm gonna
job
put
is
it
hard.
in car term.
I would say, Mike. Now here's my thing, Michael. I don't think for you on an average day, your job is hard. Like the
I wouldn't say
average thing you
hard.
do, I don't think it. I think it is probably easy for you at this point, in that you don't break a sweat doing it. You're like, I need to follow these exact 12 steps, and I need to keep these 10 adjustments in mind. And as long as I do that, no one dies.
Yeah, it's in between. It's like a weird in between because not hard.
It's also why doctors get paid
understand.
$140,000 a year, is because it's like, hey, go to. It's because, Michael, you have a D20 plus 8 at this point, at this one very
on
specific
scans.
thing that you do. Like this one incredibly narrow aperture that you are like, I do that.
This
Yeah.
this is what everybody does this. Driving a car. Trivial is getting your keys out and putting them in the ignition. You can fuck that up. You probably won't ever fuck that up. And if you do, you just go, oh, damn it. And then you get them in there and you start
I think
the car.
trivial is driving down the road. Is like,
Yeah.
I didn't say following any rules.
Just going,
Yeah, it's a 92-year-old woman driving to church and killing a family of 4 on the way. Like, it's, you got into the car, started it, and remembered what the pedals do. Great job. Easy is driving like a
Follow the
normal
laws.
human. You follow the
Yeah.
rules and you get where you're going.
then medium is like a car pulls out in front of you. You have to hit the brakes, swerve, and avoid the sidewalk where there's a pedestrian. That's medium. That took a lot of focus and a lot of considerable effort to not
And-
get into 2 different accidents.
And background
Mental.
knowledge. Like having
like you have
that,
to have all that
having
going.
all of that, how to react. I think hard is like, is a pit maneuver and you don't lose speed.
Yeah. Hard is your like stunt driving shit. Pit maneuvers. You can hit a jump and not knock yourself unconscious on your steering wheel. Like that stuff. That's hard driving.
I would argue in this system, all of NASCAR is medium and hard checks.
Mhm.
Formula One occasionally has a daunting check
we
when
bump up
something goes wrong.
Yeah.
It's normally medium or hard. But when something goes wrong, the daunting check comes in. And it's like, oop,
Yeah.
don't die right now. Impossible would be a normal man in our normal world trying to do the Mission Impossible Hobbs and Shaw trick where they latch 6 cars onto each other with grappling hooks
Yeah.
to pull a helicopter out of the sky.
Things that were
It's
never
like-
meant to happen.
It's like, I guess on some level what you're talking about is possible, but it's fucking tentative at best. Like,
you are using the driving skill, so technically it has to happen this way. But like, we're almost Bugs Bunny now.
okay.
That's when we're talking about impossible. You're
So, like-
almost Bugs Bunny.
So like, okay. So going one more, I want another like common one that people will have like muddled around a little bit. Okay. So like shooting a gun. Here we go.
Okay.
Trivial. Somebody hands you a loaded gun and you make it fire. Somebody hands you
Don't shoot yourself.
somebody hands you a loaded gun that is already fully ready to go, and you manage
Safety's
to
off.
get a bullet to come out of it. Great job.
Yes.
Easy is you walk up to a table with an empty gun and a magazine, and there's a target in front of you. You load it and shoot it and hit somewhere on that target. Like it is struck by a bullet in the process. Medium is you quickly load a gun behind cover, pop up, shoot a target accurately 3 to 4 times, and duck back down.
Yep.
Hard is you have a sniper rifle. It is high wind conditions. You are wearing a full ghillie suit. You manage to catch the flare of the other guy's scope and shoot him, and you manage to not die. Great job. You did it.
And And the sniper is disassembled when you get there. You do have to assemble it in its entirety.
Daunting is you took a shot so far that you had to take the Coriolis effect of the Earth into consideration. You had to think about the rotation speed of the Earth.
You're getting a nickname for this shot in wartime.
Yeah.
You're like the ghost of wherever. You know what I mean?
And Impossible is a real-life 360 no-scope. Is doing that in real life as it was done in, like, Modern Warfare. You have to
At
jump,
speed.
spin, fire during your spin, land, and have hit the guy.
I'm saying it's the movie Wanted pulling that shot.
Yeah,
Whip the
you're
bullet
curving the
around the
bullet.
column.
Like, you've broken the sound barrier. You're getting it done. Okay, then I'm willing to co-sign this. If, like, 90% of the time it's like, okay, I want to not get bit by this dog. That's an easy check. Why? You just gotta make the mouth not be on you. I want to take out a rope when the dog goes to bite me, dodge out of the way, and rope its muzzle quickly.
Medium.
I want to I want to cut my ponytail off, braid it into a long lasso, and get the dog while I'm riding on a horse. Hard.
I'm almost ready to say impossible. I'm almost ready to jump off.
We're getting somewhere here, yeah. And then Daunting is like, I'm going to walk up to an actively rabies dog and just say, sit. And he will listen to me because I am his father. It's like, what? Okay, cool. So now we're getting into the moves. So we decided that there's two big moves everybody does. That's understand and notice. Understand is read the magic book, solve the puzzle, like notice the thing that's wrong. And you can roll evoke, support, or covert to get that done. You can do any of the three of those, and that's to understand something extremely complicated, be it a machine, be it whatever. And then there's notice. Notice is primal martial aura, and it's, are you paying attention to the room? It's the other half of that Jason Bourne shit. It's that, like, you walk from the parking lot into the restaurant and you can name, like, what cars were where, what was in them, who was there, and how they were dressed. That's notice. And so, in theory, the only thing I can't decide, as the game master, somebody says, okay, I want to study this book. Do I say make a hard understand check? Or do they say, I want to try to figure this out. I'm going to roll understand. And they roll, and I compare their result to the table.
It's that one. You compare the result to the table. I don't think that they should know. I think that they have to... Everybody knows when something's crazy.
So you're advocating for not that it doesn't matter, that, like, these are levels of degrees of victory rather than difficulty ratings. You're saying difficulties are a secret subject.
Yes. The GM knows it. The players don't. They go up and they say, I'm looking at the 10,000-year-old tome bound in human flesh. I want to understand it. And they're rolling a d6. First of all, they got to know that shit's not going to work. But they should be able to do that math themselves. Like, I don't think that I'm the guy for this.
Yeah.
And if they want to roll anyway, the DM just goes, one of your eyeballs gets sucked off of your head when you open the book.
Hilarious.
Sorry, dog. That sucks.
Okay. I like that. I think that makes sense. So it's a thing where you're like, that we would say, like, this is a little fluid. If it ever really matters, you can set up, like, hey, this is a daunting thing you're trying to do.
You can say
if there's ever if life is ever on the line, or if the players are trying to figure out how they can work together to get, like, some +1s rolling, that's when you say, okay, the DC is this. But in general, okay, that's fun. And we'll say, like, that is a tool to build suspense. Do not do that every time. Do not. Because sometimes it's not going to fucking matter. Sometimes they're going to be like, I want to impress the captain of the murder ball team. And you're going to say, okay, just roll influence and let's see where you land. And if you I think if you land on trivial, it's like, trivial means he doesn't take off his gloves and start beating you to death. Like, trivial is
Yeah.
like, you manage to get this person to not physically attack you immediately. If you pass hard, it's like, you feel that this person has decided in this moment that you are best friends. Like, hard is that, like, you've just had the truest experience that people have, which is going to college, meeting somebody on the third day, and being like, we're going to hang out for the next 4 years and then maybe never talk again. It's like, great job. You nailed it. Like, you did this.
I would also say occasionally there's going to be levels of success like that, where it's like, now you're best friend. Badass. You rolled so good. I think often the result, if you roll a 15 versus the result if you roll a 6, if they're both successes, doesn't matter. The 6 was unlock the door. You don't unlock the door gooder because you rolled a 15. You just do it. So sometimes it's like, sometimes it does really matter if you have those plus ones. Sometimes it doesn't matter at all. It's not always levels of success.
Oh,
because I think that
so you can signal as the GM, like, hey, a greater success will be good. Like, there are benefits to beating DCs. I do that all the time in when I run Dungeons and Dragons. I will often be like, if you beat a 10, this is what you get. If you beat a 15, this is what you get. If you beat a 20, you get everything. Like, I will often use that tool. Definitely stolen from Brendan Lee Mulligan's DMing on, like, stuff. He's a big proponent of that I've seen. Okay. And then we have the basic structural abilities. These are the simple, direct skills that each major will use the most often. So it's cast for evoke, influence for aura, aid for support, fight for martial, skulk for covert, and channel for primal. Casting is all about doing big, crazy, magical stuff to influence the world. Influence is all about talking to people, creating illusions, and manipulating the mood. Aid is all about healing and buffing. Fighting is all about martial applications of force, or just tremendous force. Skulk is all about covert operations, in general. And channel is all about communing and connecting to nature through that sort of primal connection. Okay, cool. So you get into some of the majors, and we said we wanted there to be somewhere, not like alternate moves, like we don't need to come up with more of these like basic structural things, but like moves in the way that Monster of the Week, in the way that Powered by the Apocalypse does them, where it's like, what are some martial things that you get to take if that's your major? And I think that we can start thinking about that, because that's our next logical thing to think about. We talked about it a little bit before, because as far as like, when do you beat the bad guy, we're going to need to figure out probably at the end of this stream, sometime in the next hour and 14 minutes. Like, my guess is there are just difficulty rankings of adversary. And my thing would be, there's minions and adversaries. Minions die when you beat them at all. That's it. Like, minions, and you just give minions ranking. I think there are trivial minions, easy minions, medium minions, hard minions, daunting minions, and impossible minions. And it's like, you beat the thing and you kill the guy. I think adversaries have a number of checks that need to be completed for them to be defeated. Which I think makes sense.
If you throw a bunch of trivials out, you'll just have like 5 of them. They're mobs.
Well, hello, JT Podcast.
Music.
Goodbye, music. JT, you scared it off. We're talking about how we're coming up with a little bit of a game system here. So we're jumping in. We're trying to decide right now what some good alternate moves are for our skills. So what are some things that you can do with the skills at hand, which again are evoke, support, Evoke, Aura, Support, Martial, Skulk, and Primal. Evoke is all about doing big flashy magic. Aura is all about influencing emotions and moods. Support is all about healing and buffing. Martial is all about liberal application of force. Skulk is all about sneaking around. And Channel is all about communing and connecting to nature. Okay. So let's just take these like one by one really quick and see what we think are the, like, if there's any obvious maneuvers for these things.
Music
so these would be like
no more music.
Specialized, like narrow moves. This is you kind of deciding how this character works. These are the something kind of subclass adjacent outside of picking your minor. So we can kind of think about it that way if we want to. We can be like, what would an evoke aura person use? What would an evoke heal person use? What would an evoke martial person use? We can think about it that way if we want to. Or we can just sort of say like, what are the big things that people who are doing evocation do? They are bending reality. So that's the big difference, right, between evoke and aura. Evoke is about bending reality into shape. Aura is about disguising reality, and channel is about working with reality. So evoke, what are the big things that you think of when you imagine all of the classes, characters, and types that say no to reality, that redirect and fundamentally change the way that things are? My first thought is like transmutation. Is stop being X object, become Y object. Stop being, stop being air, start being fire.
Yeah.
Stop being a chair, stop being a stick, start being a boat. Whatever that is.
Transmute's good. My first thought was explode. That includes fire, that includes ice, it's force, all those things that are hit with energy of some sort. Michael, what was yours?
I think it'd be better on support, but it still goes with it a little bit. It's like warping your own reality is like increasing your chances of doing something, increasing your dice in a way.
That would be support, definitely. Yeah, you're right.
Because evoke to me isn't increasing your odds of doing something. Evoke is doing the something.
Yeah.
So like whatever it is you're thinking about enhancing, that's what evoke does. So like the closest I could get, I could see evoke being my hand is a sword now. Even then I'm kind of inclined to put that support words, but like not really. I think turning into an unnatural being, might to some extent be a kind of an evocation, something where it's like, hey, this is what's happening right now. I'm going to give another one. Summoning something that does not belong in reality to reality, like conjuration.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's my
conjure.
next as well.
So right now we have conjure, we have pure force, and we have transmute. We have turn something from one thing to another. We have blow shit up. I wonder if, and then we have conjure, which is, create a thing. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, as JT Podcast has just said. Full Metal Alchemist is a good example of a like evoke-driven thing, where it's like, it stops this, it starts that. I think that's a really good way to think about it. I'm trying to think of some other like big iconic options for this.
There's stuff like like runes, things that are etched to be used later. I could see being put in this category. So it'd be like some sort of creation, construction.
Yeah,
okay. I make a bomb.
You are fundamentally changing that object.
Yeah.
And carving. It is not consensual. Like it's I'm gonna carve these runes into this stone and now this stone does this thing, whereas the channeler would be like, I will look for the correct stone and speak to it. This is like no, this is a rune that I carved.
A cool term for it.
Okay, so let's go
carve would cover a lot of stuff. Like that would be good for magic circles. It'd be good for barring a door. Like those are evocation things.
And
You're changing the door to be unopenable.
And I'm gonna say something. I don't think making Frankenstein is support. I think healing a cut is support. I think making Frankenstein is evoke.
It's super unnatural.
Yeah.
So let's take it from there and go down the list and then see what we feel like we're missing. So transmute, I think, is pretty obvious. Like change an object from one state to another state. Make something go from being one thing to being another thing. Force, I think we have cast as the basic evoke skill, but I think cast covers very, very broad topics. I think anything you have that does not fit one of your specialized moves, you have to roll the big thing, which means we do need to reward these specialized moves. I'm not sure what exactly that looks like. Probably just that they're more reliable. They don't have as much of a cost. Necromancy, very interesting point, JT Pod. It's a different than carve.
It's similar to transmute and carve, but it's different enough that it could be separate.
I
Like,
love this.
bestow.
This is like
This would be giving life.
it's a weird. I would love a game where, like, if you decide to go down Evoke, it is kind of complicated. Can I make a pitch for like the design? Is like the Marshall list, I think, is a series of like things you can do that are named at that are like battle maneuvers. I think Evoke is like a circle with abilities on the outside and that cross. And so I think Transmute and Carve are here and here. And if you follow their lines, you get Necromancy. Like,
That's pretty cool because we said at the beginning you would pick like 2 or 3 from your main house, right?
yeah, at start we said so. Like from the
Yeah.
jump, you start
From the
with
jump as an evoker, you get 2, and whatever their line cross is, you also get that. You get a third because
that
you're doing
fucking
magic.
rules.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah, it's
complicated,
fun.
but who cares?
But
so
it's funny,
like
you're a
we can
wizard.
figure it
It's
out,
gotta
it's
be.
also very fun to be like, hey, each class is going to get a fundamentally different experience out of this game. Is going to get a
Yeah.
fundamentally different, just based on your major. Like, you know, just
Mhm.
navigating that.
What you random rolled.
I love that. So it's like if you take Transmute and you take Carve, you get Necromancy just because. But if
Yep.
you want Necromancy, if you're like, and I think that this does a really good job of portraying that anxiety of being like, I want to make a Necromancer, and you're like, oh, that's a hard track to get into. What?
Yeah.
That's a hard. Okay, you're gonna need to take Transmute and you're gonna need to take Transmute and Carve at start. What? Yeah,
Nothing else.
You're gonna need to really direct your focus, and then you'll be able to get into. And it's like, wait. what are we doing here?
But I really wanted to be able to do evoke. And it's like, no.
I want to explode stuff
Explode.
too. It doesn't fit. I'm sorry.
You're not gonna.
You don't have time.
Sorry, you're not gonna get into the program.
Yeah, you think you're gonna be able to? Yeah, no, for sure. Just go double major. Yeah, that happens.
Mhm.
Okay, so Transmute and Carve together make Necromancy. So Transmute shifts something from one state to another state. Force is tell something to unmake itself, and it listens to you. Like that can show itself as a fireball. That can show itself as like one of my all-time favorites spells anybody's ever written ever from the talent, Gravitational Collapse. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, everything there gets small the bad way because it gets cursed. Then Conjure, which is bring forth, summon. You know, it's making something out of nothing by having it just appear there. And then Carve, which is all about giving something inherent ability. So Transmute and Carve make Necromancy. Transmute. So let's try. We're going to take this slow. We don't need to come up with all of them today, but this is a logical question. So let's see if this holds water, right? This is like testing your thesis against Shakespeare.
Mhm.
Transmute and Carve make Necromancy. What does Transmute and Conjure make? I would
that'd
say
be some sort of possession.
Thank you. I was going to say, I think Transmute and Conjure together. Transmute and Carve
See, Transmute and Carve, I feel like. Oh, wait.
See, but I feel
I
like Transmute
had
and
it.
Carve could be Necromancy, or it could be making a broom that's alive.
I think that. Okay.
So hear me out.
Transmute
Hear
and
me out.
Carve, we currently have necromancy.
I think
What was the one
Necromancy
we were just-
becomes animate.
Yeah, you can animate a dead body. I guess
Becomes
that
like
does cover
animate.
it.
You animate a corpse. I think Transmute and Conjure
Mhm.
is. I think Transmute and Conjure is Necromancy. Bring the dead back to life against their will.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hit you with transmute? Conjure is a self-possession. You take in a spirit of some sort, or like a demon or fire elemental, into yourself. You are transmuting yourself via summon, and then you get those some strength or whatever.
Totally. I just feel like that is just also Necromancy.
It's you. You're not necromancing anything.
You're bringing a dead soul back to life and sticking
It's
it in
not
your head.
Ghosts. It's things that should not exist. That's demons, elementals. It can be spirits.
Okay.
And necromancy is animating a body. I don't think it's bringing back
So
think
transmute and carve is bring a natural existing object, including a corpse, to life.
Mhm.
Transmute plus conjure is bind a not normal thing to a normal thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So possession.
Hmm.
I like that because I think possession has two faces to it. And I think we could describe it that way. Like, possession has two main mechanics. Mechanic one, put a consciousness where it doesn't belong temporarily. Because you're not carving. Carving means it's permanent.
It's stuck.
So temporarily put a consciousness where it does not belong. That's half one of possession. And then half two is invite a consciousness into you to share space. So it's like you can put a demon in the doll, you can put you in the doll, or you can put the demon in you. And the benefit, and people, why would you ever do that? Put the demon in the doll kills everything in the room, you just shut the door and wait and then unfocus on the spell. You put the demon in your brain and you get to like make a little deal and figure out what you aren't and are allowed to do and then do stuff based on that. Okay, cool.
It's less dangerous for everyone involved as long as you are good at it.
Yeah. Transmute plus force.
Great question, because it feels like explode thing explode instead of area explode.
I'm a little worried that force is
Too
it's
open.
so inherent. No, it's not. It's not. I take that back. So what is the intersection between?
I feel like transmute and force is it's almost like barriers. It's changing something that's coming at you and smallifying it.
That's
yeah,
aid.
it's
though.
not an object.
That's support.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
I don't
would.
think
My
I don't think
pitch
you
is.
I don't think you and Smallin.
My
I
pitch
think
is.
what you're
I think
Go ahead.
force is disintegrate. Force is move a stone block with your mind. I think transmute plus force is pyrokinesis. Is I light it on fire. That would be my pitch. Is that
Okay.
force is push the wall. Force is slam the guy into the ground.
Purely
Force is
telekinetic.
make a barrier around yourself briefly, kinetically, not permanently as a manner of defense. Transmute is turn that wooden desk into a fire. Put transmute and force together, and you get turn the air into fire plus pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like
okay.
you're
That's where we're
you're
getting
making
lightning hits. Okay.
Yeah, it's
barriers.
like change reality to exert force.
All right. I like
Yeah.
it.
That's cool. I can't wait at the bottom of this to say most of this is flavor. It does what it says. You don't get like 37 extra damage for it. You
Yeah,
get
that's
+1
the
whenever
fun
you
of it
use
to
this
me.
thing and you flavor it.
Is if somebody's like, well, so which of these is the most damaging? It's like, shut up. You're just like, what are you talking about?
Brother, it's not
It's
not
based
like
on
that.
your role, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we get to the easier steps. There's going to be less each time we do this. So if our core classes here are transmute, force, conjure, and carve, what does force plus conjure get you? Remember, force is like kinetic energy plus conjure. The first thing that immediately pops into my head is the guy from fucking is it Gilgamesh? From
With the
from
1,000
Fate.
swords.
Yeah, the guy who like conjures swords in the air and like there's an anime
it's
like
Yeah.
the Fate series has the guy that can conjure 900 swords and then shatter somebody with them. That's the first thing that comes into my mind is and I conjure an arrow and then I throw it 300 miles an hour at somebody. But I'm not
Yeah.
in love with that. I don't think that's super interesting. It's just that's the visual I get when I think force plus conjure.
It makes sense to me.
But what is that?
Trying to think of anything else.
Because we have possession. We have like possession. We have we don't have a good one for blow shit up with your mind, but we have possession. We have animation. What's force plus conjure, which is to me like conjuring at speed almost, or like conjuring.
Yeah.
Is there something to like conjuring a kinetic force? I don't know what that means.
The closest I could come up with was like artifice, because you're sending something out that's sort of physical instead of just an element or just force. It's swords getting blasted out. It's, rocks getting whipped at speed.
Can we
So
try
it's
to think
sort
of
of artifice?
Let's try to think of one more creative example of what conjure plus force gets you. The ability to summon forth the unnatural. Wait, that's important. I take it back. I don't think it can be like throwing a rock at somebody. It conjure means an unnatural thing is brought into the world.
I think portals is pretty interesting. This would be like Hadar's tentacles from D&D. A portal to an abyss opens, tentacles slap out, and then that thing goes away. It's a portal of force opens, pull somebody into it, they get hurt, launched a bit of a distance away, portal closes. You're conjuring an opening, something happens from that opening, it goes away.
Yeah, so it's I open a portal and then I make you do something. Like, and then that either something inside that portal is jettisoned towards you or you are pulled towards it.
Yeah.
It's that additional angle of like manipulation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? So from we talked about X-Men before. Do you know what Cyclops' ability is exactly?
Yes.
It's not heat
punch
vision.
dimension, baby. It's punch dimension.
His eyes are a portal to a dimension of pure kinetic force. It's kind of what we got here.
It suggests that given enough time, he would empty that universe of all of the kinetic energy inside it and cause its heat death, which I think is deeply
It's gonna take a while.
So
I like that. I think portals is cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, we're definitely gonna have to come up with a name for that, but just portals.
Technical portal.
Force plus carve.
Bombs.
I was thinking like, I think carve. My instinct would be to say force plus carve is like a Holy Avenger Greatsword.
Oh, you're thinking this is artifice.
I think force plus carve is I think it's grenade. I think it's bomb. I don't think it's grenade plus bomb. I think that's in skulk. I think that's a covert gig. Is like,
you're
strapping that stuff together. I think
that's pretty cool.
Force plus carve is like I make a rock that maybe we can just consider it bombs as what are we talking about? There's not fucking black powder. This is medieval. Like we're not doing that thing. No, I know I'm tempted to join you in the smirk. I can't. It pisses me off every time. It doesn't make sense. Like you're objectively like, wait, stop. How do they have that? What? Your guy has a gun? Yeah. Where is he getting gunpowder? The gunpowder store? Great. Where's that guy getting saltpeter and like the rare distillates of specific plants in South America? Like, what are you fucking talking about? No, you don't. Like, that is so hard to make. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean you have modern blasting powder in 1400? No way.
It's arcane refuse powder. That's what we use for our guns.
No, I'm giving
It's an easy workaround. I don't care about having guns in the game, so I'm not going to put
nobody's rolling up with no one's strapped up at the convention here.
No.
Yeah. I was just going to say I don't like the Holy Avenger sword in that section just because I feel like that would be carve transmutate is like artifact creation.
That's animation.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, carve transmute is
transmute.
Yeah, you're carving the runes into a broom and it's alive now.
Yeah, because transmute is the fundamental change, and then carve is make it permanent.
I think that artifice is cool. I think that it works perfect there.
Because to me, it's like it's a really good example. It's a scroll of fireball.
Mm-hmm.
That's force plus carve. It's here. I made this stable for a little bit. And that's the other thing you could say is you could be like, it's also like, oh, how do you power this tower? Oh, I made a little sun. What? I made an explosion that's always, and it's tiny.
It's in
What
this
the
bottle.
fuck? And it's like,
Is
yeah.
it dangerous? Maybe.
Is it dangerous? Oh,
Yeah.
if you break it, yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, it's so dangerous.
It's as hot as the sun.
How does it work? Does
within
it,
a few inches?
create energy? It's like, unfortunately, it is what it always is. We put it in water. Water makes steam. Steam turn fan. That's what all power is. All power is steam turns a fan. If you look at the whole chart, somewhere steam is turning a fan. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay, so that's force plus conjure and force plus carve. Conjure plus carve.
Conjure.
So taking something
That's almost-
taking something from outside reality and pulling it into it and imbuing an object with permanent magical properties, like fundamentally changing an already existing thing, kind of bending it to your will. This is tough.
Yeah, it is, because first off, I was like, this is where your flask of unending anything.
Like my first jump is a permanent portal, a portal that can't pull people. You just make it. Like dimension door is this, gate is the other thing.
Yeah. I do like Michael's too, the like never-ending flask, but
No.
It's
Okay, so
similar
I
to
think that's
Artifice
good. So
because it's
is
creation.
it like, so it's binding.
yeah.
It's take the unnatural thing, bring it into the world, make it stay.
Yep.
Mhm. This is how we get our elemental pets. and
Yeah.
stuff like
Possession
that.
is temporary. Animate is an inanimate object simply begins to move. This is, I take something from somewhere else and I make it stay here.
It's bound.
Yep, this is your familiar. Okay.
Yeah, this is binding.
So we've got portals, binding, possession, artifice, animate, blow shit up, carve, conjure, force, and transmute.
I hate to
Nice.
say it, I don't think anything else is going to be nearly as cool as this because we've made a really cool
Sadly.
magic
If I had
system.
my druthers about it, the only thing I would add, I do think we need to, not now, we've used so much time, I think we need to add a fifth base element. Why? Just so that it can be a pentagram on the page for magic. If it's four, that's a
Classic,
little, it's a little lame.
True.
But we'll do that. But so that's the concept. That's how we want this version of these various moves to look. Let's do one more. So all we're really, the thing I want to sort of shoot into the future, to us, to JT Pod when he hops back in, when you're designing a game, the thing that the three of us are doing right now that I unironically think a lot of people don't do, just because they don't think about it, it's not like a character flaw. Being a wizard should feel like being a wizard. And being a fighter should feel like being a fighter. This is something that, love the game, D&D does not do well, in my opinion. I don't think being a wizard and being a fighter feel particularly different. Like, I think it's like,
Yeah.
I use my sword, I use my spell to hurt that guy 5 times. I use my sword spell to hurt that guy 5 times. Oh, I use my dog spell to hurt that guy 5 times. And as they've gotten into these later editions, I hate to say it, 2024 Player's Handbook has made some choices that are popular that I think are making that worse, where it's like, wizards can heal now. So what the fuck is special about being a wizard at all? Like, what is different about being a wizard or being a cleric? Wither and Bloom is like hugely popular now because people are like, oh, you can finally heal. You shouldn't want to heal. You're a wizard.
Be a cleric,
Like,
bro.
You shouldn't want to do that. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. So if we go one down the list, we go from evocation to aura.
Hell yeah.
So what is so if evocation is all about feeling like a wizard, it's all about like, oh, let me consult the chart of abilities, and it's a pentagram that spirals off into various other things, and you like fill in the bubbles of the pentagram with a pencil to tell you which of the moves on the opposite page you can use. And it's like, oh yes, and then you have to like trace rune patterns, and you can eventually end up with like a really complicated map of these fucking things. If that's our, it's expansion 1 is the Tome Arcane, and it's a poster that's like 12 on an outer circle, 6 on an inner circle, and 3 on the innermost circle, and you get a headache every time you do it. What is the experience of aura, of manipulating people, changing the way people see reality, but not actually changing reality? Like, it feels very much like it's in 2 different camps. So I kind of want there to be a pretty clear split between influencing people verbally and influencing things kind of magically.
The first idea, I think it was you and Spencer kind of talked about this, not even on stream. It was about acting. And
yeah.
Aura is, I feel like, main stage, having the limelight, all that. Being a good actor and being a good aura, it's not coming out full on. It's that build up, the swells and the decreases. It's all that, not just that being high all the time.
So I see not charting them in the same the previous one was. I do see kind of a shifting
build-up.
spectrum here that you're trying to like manipulate by giving in. So like I see presence. I see like presence isn't just like force of personality, and then over here is diluting, obscuring, hiding. It's very different. Like these 2 things I think can not exist. They can both exist in the same person, or they can be not. And then being like truly charismatic and persuasive, because that's not the same thing as presence to my mind. I don't know if that feels true for you, but it does for me.
I think compel, present, and then the second one you had talked about, which was like
Delude.
Yeah, that's what I'd go with.
You want charm somewhere in there? Is that
That's what I was
innate
thinking
charm?
for
I think it's what
compel
compel
would be-
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
You're
a charm.
compelling people to do what you want.
Okay.
Are there just so now I think so maybe this one branches a little bit differently. Maybe this is kind of like how the tower works, where you pick compel, present, or delude, and then they split,
subcats,
and you have to make another, and so it really wants you to sort of go into one of these channels instead of trying to go wide, which I think makes a lot of sense. Like I know very few. This is funny. There's a joke a lot of people make that like, oh, you can't believe what he says. He's an actor. I don't know a lot of actors that are good liars. Yeah,
they're awful. They
like
it's
cringy.
like they get too into it.
Yeah, cringy
and then
college
they just can't do it.
like theater kids are like, I get, don't trust what I say. But in real life, it's like, hey, it's incredibly obvious when you're lying. Like it's really, really,
Bro,
really
you're acting.
obvious. Yeah.
You're not that good of an actor. I hate to say it. Nobody is. It's a different skill.
The only other idea goes into your acting, but there's different schools of acting. There's
Stanislavski,
which then breaks down into like Strasbourg, which then breaks down into for sure.
And then
now,
aura is like that. It's like you pick what your aura is, and you have to stick with that.
I think to take that idea and skew it a little bit, naming the 3 things after famous like bard teachers is pretty cool, where it's like, oh, the Stanislavski method. What kind of aura is that guy? Oh, he's a Stanislavskian. Okay. Oh, damn, I can't trust him for shit. I can't talk to that guy. He's going to lie to me and make me do magic stuff.
So, okay. So I would say if we're going to try to narrow those down in some of our minors, our not minors, our like our subcategories, compel. is like exerting your will on other people. Present is presenting a particular version of reality, and delude is obscuring reality. One of present's subcategories should be mimic.
Yeah.
Is that because to me, I can't decide if that's present or delude.
Oh, that's present.
I think so too. I feel like delude would be. There's something about the fact that like you are recreating something.
Yeah. Delude, you would say, I am the new person here. I'm the director. And
Yeah.
you're faking it out. It's a different thing.
Yeah, delude would be an entire fake identity.
Yeah.
Okay. And these can be as magical or non-magical as we want them to be, right?
Yep.
So
And
present
And as the player wants them to be.
present gets its first to me, which is mimic. You present another thing, another person. What are some other like compel to me breaks into two big categories, which is like change their opinion versus get them to do something. I think
Yeah.
I think that like changing someone's opinion is safer and slower. It takes time and it takes investment. Get them to do it right now and they might be mad at you after.
There's going to be blowback. You tricked them. They didn't change their belief. They just believed the wrong thing was going to happen from what you told them to do. Hey, go pull his pants down. He'll think it's funny.
That's delude.
He didn't think it was funny.
I'm almost thinking more like fast talk, like catching somebody up in your wake and already being gone and down the road before they catch up to it.
You make them do something that goes against what they believed because you made them believe that the thing you're telling them to do was the thing they believe. That's what you're doing here. And then you take off and they go,
I think you've just sold me that they're not two different kinds of compel. I think one is compel and one is delude. That's all.
Okay.
Which is valuable still. So compel is get someone to do, is like compel someone to do something, to think something, to feel something for that. There we go. Feel, think, do. So then if we break down, pick one of those to be good at. What is the difference between manipulating the way that somebody is feeling versus manipulating the way that they are thinking?
Thinking is a long-term change. You make them think something. Feel is temporary. People feel sad. People feel angry. You can make them feel that way. Changing the way they think is a much longer term issue.
So one of them is like swaying somebody's feelings, like pushing them in a different direction. And the other is getting them on the hook and guiding them down a different avenue. One of them is more political almost. So politic, let's put politic for that one.
Yeah.
And then what's the one where you are just leaning on their emotions in that moment?
That would be, I think sway is like the easiest verbiage.
Okay. So politic and sway, I like that. That feels very much like two sides of the same coin, and compel is that coin. So present is mimic, and then my instinct for the other is it's mimic and captivate. Are the two sides of present.
You draw big attention. You're not changing the way anybody feels. They're just looking at you.
But mimic is recreation patterns, like get them in a familiar loop. Captivate is new, exciting, exotic, different. Like it grabs them and pulls them. But it's not the same as trying to present something in the way that mimic is like presenting it as fact or presenting that. And then delude. To me, this is the short versus long term, right? Delude one is, I park a car in your front yard. I set off the car alarm until you go outside to check on it. And then I break in your house and I steal your shit and I run out the back. Right? It's temporary. It is smash and grab. Delude 2 is long-term structural Moriarty style lying.
Delude also feels to me like the most magical. I know that all of these can be magic in their own ways, but Delude would be like, I've put a charm on this person. They think something that is completely untrue for a while.
Okay, so
They
is
see
one of
something that's
these
not there.
is one of these mind control, like in the way that sway shifts their emotions, politics slowly shifts the way they feel, captivate grabs their attention, mimic lets you recreate something, and then one of these is you make them do what you say
I think mind control, yes.
against their
I
will.
also think this would be where illusions come from. Would be under delude. That shit is not real. It's not how you think or feel or what you're doing. I've made a horse with fiery mane appear on the stage in front of you. You have been deluded.
Yeah. It's control and distract.
Mhm.
And distract is illusion.
Yeah.
And control is sleep. And they just thump, and you're just like, oh, thank goodness. There, that's taken care of.
Mm-hmm. And if you were going to do like the charm on the other end to make somebody go to sleep, you'd be like, dang, it's getting pretty late, huh? You start yawning, you give them a chamomile tea, and you're like, you should probably head to bed. I'll lock up here. And then they go to bed. They didn't magically fall asleep. It's the same end result. It's just a totally different angle of getting there.
And again, if we wanted to keep going with this, my next step would be politic breaks down into two, sway breaks down into two, onwards and onwards and onwards. I don't think that's necessarily worth our time, but that is what I would do next. Much in the way that what I would do with Evoke next is add a fifth.
Yeah.
And ironically, by the way, these have almost the exact same number. It's 10 and 9.
Nice.
Which is really funny.
Quick test. Now that we're really down to the no, we're not. We got another 30 minutes. I don't know what we have left.
6 minutes.
No, we got 6 minutes. Now that we're down to the end, what if we combine them? What if it was an evoker primary with a minor in aura?
Okay. So an evoker picks two things and then gets the connected items. An aura person picks one, and then after a while they get to do their fucking Pokemon evolution and pick a second stronger one. So let's say then that somebody is an evoke major or a minor. They take transmute and carve. And so they are artifice. They make objects in the long term, and then they're an aura minor. So what happens if you have transmute and carve, which means you have artifice, and you have compel?
I would transmute and carve is temporary. No, it's permanent. You're making the Holy Avenger.
It's you. No, transmute. Transmute and carve is that broom is alive.
Gotcha.
Oh, no way.
So,
give me 2 seconds.
Anime or artifice?
Both on accident? No. Force plus carve is artifice.
Okay.
So you have animate and you have sway. You have transmute and carve, which gives you animate, and you have compel sway.
I think that you would go about your problems in two primary ways. It would be, I am animating these things to do things for me, and if I'm ever without my animation, I am going to redirect the attention of these people. So it's like, most of the time, I've got 3 flying broomsticks that beat the shit out of a guy that I see. If for some reason my broomsticks have been destroyed, taken away, then I utilize my minor to go, oh, what's that over there? And I fucking take off.
Okay.
I don't deal with that problem.
But like, I see some that are very easy. So I think that transmute plus carve is animate. And then if you had delude distract, I think that's... I take a sword out of a sheath, and even though everybody knows I'm not a martial minor, and I just throw it in the air, and it comes to life, and then 2 illusory copies appear on both sides.
Yeah.
And you need to deal with all of those. I think anime plus politic, I want to try to see what happens if we push on this a little harder. So like if we're trying to look at those specific like sub builds, you have animate
Mm-hmm.
and you have sway. So you can shift emotions and you can animate objects. I think that to me turns into you animate an axe and the axe is angry. Like it is rageful and barbarian like and it's stronger than it should be.
That's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Because you have sway, you can imbue a little bit of emotion into the object. You can start to almost give it like a little bit of personality, like a little tiny bit. Whereas if you
That's
had
cool.
animate politic, I think animate and politic is how you get a book that's like, hello, I am the identify spell. Like,
Yeah.
let me tell you what this object does. That's like, I'm an automaton. I can communicate and give you new information. Whereas if you had animate mimic, it would be, I make a sword, I put the greatest swordmaster in the world's memories in it, I throw it on the battlefield and it starts doing Miyamoto Musashi moves. This isn't that hard to go down the list for if you turn your brain off a little bit. Like portals plus distract is it is totally a portal. It's dumping it, I've connected it to the cheese dimension. Like and hundreds of wheels of cheese descend from it. The sky, the sun is blotted by cheese. Like I think that's pretty easy to like start to intuit the way that some of those would work. And then if we flip it and somebody has like present mimic, that's their major. They mime what other people do. And then they have, I don't know, I'll roll a d6 about it. And they have blow up. They have like blow up with fire. You have mimic and blow up with fire. I think it quickly turns into, in my mind, I make a dog out of fire and send it. And it like, I make a hellhound, it goes over there. It will temporarily live long enough to execute some will.
I had an image of like a perfect form mat where it's like, I am not doing these spells. I'm mimicking the spells that Grand Wizard
yeah.
or like Arch Wizards used. Grand Wizards, what the hell? No, like
hey, other people said
know
that before they said that.
Okay, I'll take it back then.
Oh, you know what that ability would be? It would be it would be called like Steal True Talent, and you roll as if you are an administrator for one roll.
That's sick. That's super sick.
It's like, hey, you roll a d20 plus 10 for this skill check. You are approaching it with the capability of an adult professional in their field. You can only do this once a day. It exhausts you. You have a headache for the rest of the day.
Disadvantage on everything.
Yeah, I think you take like a -1 until you sleep. Why? You can just cast it again, and then you'll have a -2 until you sleep. That will also apply to your cool admin roll. Like you are getting dumber as you just absolutely strain your brain case. You are hemorrhaging in your skull as you try to make this happen.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
It's not bad. I wish we had another 3 hours, but with that, this one flew by. I don't know if it's a mix of the banter and coming up with such like fiddly stuff that you're trying to like Rubik's Cube and jigsaw together. This is quite the oddball little system. I feel like this would be a, I feel like this will, when we eventually finish it sometime in late 2039, it will be a, what is there a TTRPG equivalent of a cult classic? Like a movie
like
where
the
it's
old
like
cyberpunk
where the
thing.
average person is like, I don't think I could rock with this, but I know that there is a kind of person that would crack the spine on this and be like, this is so spicy. Like this is so odd.
My answer is Mage the Ascension, 100%. Mage the Ascension is so arcane because it should be.
Yeah.
That the people who love it, and the people who just are like, they fucking.
I think Blades in the Dark is a good example because there's two kinds of people when it comes to Blades in the Dark. There's the people who do a heist game, and there's the people who can't figure out what the hell they're supposed to do in Blades in the Dark, and they end up doing not a heist game. They end up going in like weird different directions as they try to figure out what Blades in the Dark is supposed to be, instead of looking at the book and going, oh, it's for doing a crime, like in movies. And that's all that system. That system is built for you to do a movie montage and kill a guy. That's what that system's for. It doesn't do nothing else. Okay. Super interesting. All right. With that, thank you all so much for watching DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process. As fun as it would be for us to sit down and do 5 more episodes of this, grinding out each of these individual kind of builds and majors and minors and how they affect things. I mean, viewer retention is an analytic, guys. We gotta jump the ship. We're gonna be heading in a new and exciting direction. I have no idea what we're gonna do next. I want to take the time to remind us we did have 2 other ideas for these RPGs that I want to just take the time to say out loud here at the end, because I want to revisit these someday. We did Magic School. Mine was Save the Ship, and it was an RPG where you are specifically a like SOS crew in a sci-fi setting. Like your job is to respond to ships in trouble. And the other one was Inanima. You play the various animated objects a wizard made, and I don't know if this is like sort of a like revolution. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Free yourselves, while you can, or if it's save the king, or if it's the wizard has been kidnapped, go save him. Like you go on a quest to free the sorcerer who made you all.
Or are you a car in the Cars universe? Who's to say? We haven't established anything yet.
So that's DM Writer's Room.
RPG.
We'll talk a little bit about what we want to do next. This is well seated at the end of the month, which is our goal, to try to end these at pretty good time. So we'll either jump into something small to fill up the next one, or we'll jump into a big project. I'm not sure. I've been kind of itching for a little bit more world building though, so we might head in that direction. Tune in on Sunday. Where are we going? Do we want to reschedule our postmortem on Slay the Spire 2, or sadly did it go the way of the dodo? We had to miss a stream because of a medical emergency.
I think we can let it go way of the dodo. We only played a couple games of Slay the Spire. We got close to beating it, and then we beat it. Obviously, we mastered it.
So number one, we instantly mastered it. We beat it right away. It was my first time playing Slay the Spire 2, and we instantly crushed. So like, obviously we mastered it. Let's go around the horn then. We're a little past time. Let's do like lightning round feedback on Slay the Spire 2. Let's just get it out of the way over here because I want us to get this out. I'll say number 1, loved a lot of the improvements. It seemed super duper fun. My complaint about the game, that's my rose. My rose, super fun, super dynamic. Multiplayer was a little overpowered, but really fun to like riff off of each other's abilities. We had to coordinate pretty actively. My thorn, damn, that thing is still in early access. Damn, that game is still in early access. None of the art is drawn. Half the items don't have descriptions, and some of them seem like they kind of don't work. It's advertised as being in early access, so this is not like a problem. If you're going into playing it right now, you should be going into it knowing that. But I could feel a little bit that we were early in the roadmap. I could feel that there was another, 6 to 8 months of sort of grinding at the millstone until the last of those wrinkles came out. That's mine.
Rose, incredible. So the Spire 1 is probably my favorite roguelite of all time. This is great. I had a great time playing it. Multiplayer was incredible. Thorn, I think in multiplayer, they should highlight in a small yellow, like, illumination when everybody else has clicked something that somebody else needs to click it. So that person goes, oh shit, and they see the yellow illumination, they click on the next button. Or they click on the head that everybody else clicked on. So they're not like... It happened, I think, 37 times.
So you want to be able to ping,
one of us would be like,
this is the guy I'm attacking. Because you can ping the end your turn
Not even
button.
Not even that. When we all
clicking on
click
the map.
next turn, we all click next turn, and one person's like...
You can do that.
I want it to start glowing. So they go, oh shit, everybody else is done.
Instead of the like little text bubbles, you want it to be like, wah, wah,
Yeah,
I want
I just
high
want-
pitched ringing in that person's.
when everybody
ear.
else is waiting, I think that it would be useful for them to get some indicator like, oh fuck, they're waiting on me. I have to click finish, or I have to click on the next map on the next spot on the map.
Okay, cool.
That's it. Michael,
Sorry.
bedtime.
Yes. We're
Spencer's a waiter walking up to somebody in the middle of a bite. You enjoying everything?
You liking the food?
It was just bad time on my part. Yeah, I think the improvements that they made, awesome. I think there's extra paths that older characters can go on to do different kinds of builds. I think that's a huge plus. Because before there was like 2 builds.
No,
everyone
Shiv
can
build
do.
is fun. Shiv build can finally make it through a couple of levels.
Mm-hmm. So that I think that's my rose. My thorn. I feel like this game is easier than the first one.
That's a hot take.
Nope.
That's a crazy hot take because I feel like it's way harder.
Really?
It's taken me more hours to finish runs with characters than on the first.
This is where I was saying I felt a little bit more of the like alpha, like the like pre-release of it, because there were fights where I was like, oh, this one's an absolute walk in the park, and then there were some where we were like, where you're just getting immediately evaporated by something, and you're like, I don't know what I could have had built by now that would have gotten me through that.
There's a couple of things like that that I agree. There are some things that are
Now I will say I've only
unbelievably
played the first 2. I've only played Ironclad and Silent, so I have no idea if maybe what you say becomes super true when you play the Remnant, and all of a sudden the Revenant or whatever it's called, and all of or the Ruler, and maybe it's a little bit more true in some of the like, you know, the new Johns, or you're just better. You also, Michael, might be having the truly awful experience, which is when you started playing Slay the Spire 1, you were bad.
Yeah.
And when you started playing Slay the Spire 2, you were already good at Slay the Spire 2 because you were. It's like how everybody says that the easiest Dark Souls game is the new one because they played all the other ones.
Every other one.
Yeah. And so they're like, this one's a joke. And I'm like, no, you just know how timing works now. Like, you know how to roll and you know how to talk to the guy. You're not just like, it's scary, he's trying to grab me, and getting like one-shotted by Gwyn in the Forge of Cinders or whatever the hell it's called.
It's funny. The exact same argument's made for Monster Hunter. Everyone says the newest one's the easiest, and there are some takeaways for that. It makes it a little easier, but it's also, oh, you have 400 hours in the last game.
I want to honor Bob Breezy, a fallen soldier. I'm back, LOL. I pop into almost every stream, but I'll get to that point. My 3rd campaign was supposed to happen, but my friend broke his leg, and 2 of the others now have girlfriends. That's life.
Get the girlfriends in on it.
That's life.
Once those girlfriends become long-term girlfriends, your friends can broach the subject of, hey, there's a D&D thing we got going on. You want to check it out? That's how we did it.
Have you ever wanted to be a wizard? Yeah, you can.
Perhaps a goth baddie rogue? No judgment. You do whatever you want to do.
Muscle mommy.
Exactly.
Get into
There's
some stuff.
infinite options.
Give it a try. Yeah, soft pitch it to the G friends in time. But truly, Bob Breezy, many a game has been lost to what you describe. I wish you well. I hope it works out. Feel free to scrub back through. This was kind of a fun one. I'm going to be honest with you, Bob Breezy. A little chaotic. A little chaotic.
We got some tangents.
We got some tangents, but it was a really fun one. Next time we'll be on to a new topic and maybe a little bit less loopy from the day's labors. All right. With that, thank you all so much for watching. Oh no, I'm being stopped. Better have a good reason.
The one thing you said that we're not doing our end game or our end session for the Slay the Spire. What we are doing though, we are back in the realm of Night Rain.
No, I forgot about
that.
No!
Night Rain! It's a long month. We're mastering Night Rain this time for real.
Bob Breezy, you can check out on Sunday. We're getting back into Night Rain. We're going to be playing Elden Ring, Night Rain, trying to delve back in and master it. Last time we did, I think we did okay. We got a couple of the bosses down. I would say I didn't master that one, but I felt like you two got pretty strong, a little bit stronger, especially Michael. Spencer and I think we're both kind of in the like, I have a big hammer squad in a way that Michael was like, you know, building incredible cheese builds, which I think is quite powerful. And then, of course, every Tuesday. DM Writers Room. Tune in next time. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to figure that out in the moment. That's the whole point of the show. We try to come up with it live so that you watch us panic. All right. Now, with your extra 12 minutes, you lucky ducks. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you on the next one. Peace out. Stay foolish.